morning, everyone. It's me, it's Rory Paddock for picksfromthepaddock.co.uk. It is on the Nod live Tuesday morning. It's just coming up to 8 a.m. It's 7:56 to be exact. Now, obviously, all the talk is about Royal Ascot. Not going to forget about Royal Ascot, but if you're after Royal Ascot tips, this isn't the video for you. Here, I have 6 horses. I'm putting in a lucky 63 today that I think should go well from both Thirsk and Beverley. We're going to raid the north and hopefully end up with some winners in the process. If you do want anything to do with Ascot, then obviously you've got our completely free app, which you can download for your mobile phone, whether that's Android or iPhone. Obviously, we've got that are compatible with both. Also, I'm going to be doing a watch along live for today's action from Ascot from 2:15. And also, if you're following us on either Facebook or Twitter, then we do have a free tipping competition, which you can get entering to win a cash prize. That's not vouchers, that's not betting tokens, that's not some sort of like stipulation. It's cold, hard cash for the winner, whoever can do the best tipping for all 5 days of Royal Ascot. So make sure you check that out. But that's not what you're here for. You're here for winners. And hopefully I've got 6 of them that will help improve our bank balance this afternoon. So without further ado, let's head on up to Thirsk. And my first selection of the day comes in the 3:35, and it is Danzan. Now, I'm all over any horse that's trained by Timmy's to be. He landed a double yesterday, and I think the yard can go well again today. 3 of the 6 horses that I'm tipping this afternoon do come from that yard. First off, obviously, as you can see, it is Danzan, course and distance winner. Hasn't been seen in this grade in his last 4 starts. His record at this level reads as 9 places and 3 wins from 14 starts in this grade, class 4, for those that cannot see at the moment. He's just a pound above his last winning mark, and he's 26 pounds below his highest ever mark. Obviously, I don't think he's perhaps his peak, but I think he's certainly got enough left in the locker to win at this level. Danzan has been backed in the market as well, and is now 9-2. Sticking with Thirsk, and we're going to go to the 4:45, and it's stablemate, again from the Timmy's to be yard, Count Dorsey. Finished 4th over course and distance last time out in what looked a much better race than this. He's never actually, believe it or not, bit of a veteran, Count Dorsey, but he's never actually competed at this level in his entire handicap career. The fact that he drops down in grade to class 5 company, I think it's going to be very, very telling. He's definitely the best horse on paper in this race, has attracted support into 4-1 on a decent mark, and I think he can capitalise on that, especially from what looks a decent draw. Count Dorsey should go very, very close there in the 4:45. Those are my 2 selections from Thirsk, but I've got 4 that come from Beverley. The first of which is in the 6:45, and it's Dr. Rio. Former course winner, he'll have appreciated a return to action this month. That came after nearly 3 months on the sidelines, so he's going to strip much fitter. Paul Midgley's starting to get his horses going as well, and I think Dr. Rio could be a bit overpriced at his current odds there in the 6:45, especially of what looks an attractive mark as well. The following race at the 7:15, I'm going to go for California Gem. Now, I'm sure the powerhouse owners of Ammo Racing have much bigger targets this week down at Ascot, but they are well capable enough to add to our tally with this one. The horse, trained by George Bowie, has to travel an almighty way to get up there from his base in Newmarket. Certainly won't be travelling all that distance just for a holiday or just for some sort of pipe opener. He's one of only 2 course and distance winners in the lineup, so he likes it here. He will need to improve on what he's shown in his last 2 starts, but in what doesn't look an overly competitive or an overly deep race in terms of class, I think California Gem certainly has the ability to finish in the money, and hopefully she can end up with her head in front. California Gem there in the 7:15. An hour later in the 8:15, going to go for, would you believe, another Tim Easterby horse, representing the same owners as Danzan. Matarajo at 11-1 does look overpriced. Like I said, I am all aboard the Tim Easterby train this afternoon. Again, another former course and distance winner. He's not been at his best, I have to admit, this term, but based on his course record here at Beverley, that includes 7 top 3 finishes from just 9 starts at Beverley. That's a really impressive course record. If you're a believer of horses for courses, then clearly he loves it here at this track. If he can get somewhere back to his best, he'll take all the beating. 11-1 looks way too big. Obviously, we need to take a little bit on trust that he's able to find his feet again. But if he does, then I think this double figure price might look very, very generous. So I would advise grabbing it now before that price disappears. Matarajo hopefully can turn things around this evening there in the 8:15. And my 6th and final selection comes in the last race at Beverley, and it's Star of St. James. Now, the Richard Fahey trained runner, it has form that resembles a telephone book with 0s and 8s and all sorts. So you have to sort of play this one with a degree of tentativeness. But he's only a 6-year-old. It's still got plenty of room. It's not over the hill by any stretch yet. But what makes it really, really interesting is the fact that the horse steps up to 10 furlongs. He's not competed over anything further than a mile. I think it's his last 9 starts. So it's very interesting that it goes back to 10 furlongs. The horse actually has a 50% strike rate over this trip. I think maybe the Fahey team have been playing this one a little bit coy, running it over 7 furlongs or a mile. And I'm hoping that they might have planned this out. And now back up to 1 mile 2 is the time it's going to strike. Off a decent and attractive mark, I think 11-1, massively overpriced for Star of St. James in the 8:45. So those are my 6 selections. We've got Danzan and Count d'Orsay both at Thirsk, Dr. Rio, California Gem, Matarajo, and Star of St. James all at Beverley. Whether or not you put them in a lucky 63, some sort of multiple bets, whether you do them win or each way is entirely up to you. But another bet I am going to do with all 6 of them is a place accumulator. Pays around 25-1. I have stuck a few pound on this, and there's what I'm going with. Danzan for a top 4 finish and Count d'Orsay for a top 3 finish, both at Thirsk. Dr. Rio, top 5. California Gen, top 3. Matarajo for a top 5. And Star of St. James for a top 4 finish. All of those which come in, it does pay around 25-1 to the pound. So I think it might be worth a quid or two. Those are my 6 selections. If you do want to take part in our Royal Ascot competition, then entries close at midday today. Head on over to our Facebook or Twitter accounts. You can see them in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. If you want selections for Ascot, then we'll be putting some up on our app as well. And also, join me live at 2:15 for our live watch-along, and hopefully we'll bag some Royal Ascot winners for day 1 in the process. As always, though, any likes, comments, and shares, very much welcome. And fingers crossed, touch wood, and good luck if you follow.